3, 2, 1.
Ready.
Just relax and enjoy the ride.
In crowd, 815, in crowd, 815, in crowd, 815, in crowd, 815, 815.
Now, technically speaking, your alarm is your theme song. It starts every episode. I'm Greg. He's Tom. This is the In Crowd 815 podcast, the 19th day of October, the year 2024, the latest it has ever been
in the history of mankind. And then the rest of the day is like a really bad sitcom for me.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And that's why you're so funny. You got to be witty to get through this thing we call life.
Yeah.
That's right.
Sometimes fun, sometimes not fun. Only fun when those Green Bay Packers win, though. There you go. There you go. By the way, I have very few talents, but many, many hats. This is the third hat I've had on this morning.
It's your third hat this morning. You have a problem. We're going to have an intervention.
I have a problem.
We're going to have an intervention for you. That's a little extreme.
If only I changed my underwear as often, then we'd be good.
Oh no.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there. Once a day.
You just lost a co-host. Anyone looking for volunteer work on Saturday mornings?
Yeah. The day is great, by the way.
we have a fun time, interesting and educational time for you and the person still sleeping next to you. So give a little elbow, wake up. Greg and Tom are talking and making some noise. And if they're just still snoring, they can't wake up. That's okay. You can share with them later when we upload to Spotify.
There we go. I can't do this. I can't do the elbow thing.
You need a third arm.
Yeah, I need a third arm.
We have some great guests, some new folks to the program to bring on today. Very excited to learn more about Rebops for Parkinson's. What is Rebops all about? And we're also going to hear about the TCMF. What's TCMF? You'll learn before this show is done. So stick around. First, we want to take care of this little order of business. Our current race to 10 has Tom and Joanne tied at 4 apiece. It's time to do this. The big number of the week is 11.5 million. And your answer is descended or dudes. Yo, dudes. Descended or dudes, 11.5 million. Put your guess in the comments in the chat. Let us know what you think the answer might be. Is it descended or it's dudes? It's one or the other. You got a 50-50 shot of getting this right and starting your weekend off with a win. I think that's pretty good. Tom's going to text me his guess here because he likes, or are you going to change doing that now? Are you going to wait till Joanne jumps on?
No, I'm doing it, but I got to find your name on here. Oh, there we go.
Apparently we haven't texted each other since Thursday.
Well, I happen to have gotten a lot of texts over the last. You're normally fairly close up because I text you 5 times a week, at least 3 times a week, probably. Packer stuff and whatever. Anyway, so
it's been a pretty boring week. I got a haircut. Did you do anything exciting at all?
I got my haircut too.
Yeah, a little fresh shave.
Just run a razor across my head. Now, did I do anything exciting? No, nothing comes to mind. I did some Thursday. What the heck did I do? Yeah, we had some fun on Thursday, didn't we?
Pretty boring week. No, we had a great time Thursday night. We had a lot of shout outs later on in the show that we want to thank people for helping make Thursday night possible. Rockford's first ever masked karaoke trivia contest. Did it come off without a hitch? Well, no, there were hitches, but I don't think most people knew that there were any because this was the first time we did anything like this. So
yeah, no, it was phenomenal. And everybody, to a man, to a woman, said, "Great job! It was great. It was fun. Had a great time. May have went slightly long. Maybe could have shaved a half an hour off. No big deal. Everybody understood that we were going to be there till you had even said 9:30, probably 9:30, and you were spot on.
People between 9 and 9:30 is what I thought we would be done, and we got done just at like 9:30.
Just at 9:30, and all the feedback was so great. My niece was there. You met my niece. She's like, "Oh my God, this was great. This was fun." The charcuterie board, the table wasn't a board; it was a table.
It was a
6 foot
huge
table full of so much food. I really think the Russian army would have been full. Anyway.
Kudos to Medicare 411 for sponsoring the Boxwood Events charcuterie table, and it was a table, and it was extravagant. So we'll recap the event coming up a little bit, but first we want to go ahead and bring on our guests for the first part of the show today. We have Tiffany and Xavier, and if I get this right, let me get this up here like this. I like to do this way. Xavier and Tiffany, if I do this way, I can bring you on the screen behind the screen. So now people don't know you're there, but you're there. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Now I'm going to open up the screen and see how we look. Oh yeah, there we go. How's that? How's that? How is your
Everybody
morning?
has
How's your
hair
morning?
except me.
I have some to share, Tom.
Yes, you do. You do.
I do.
I got it. Well, with
I've
with
always
hair
wanted to
that
be a
long.
redhead.
You should. You should try. You know what? I think you have the good skin tone for it.
Have you ever done
you
the
go.
Lots of Love donation?
My daughter did actually earlier this year, and she cut off 18 inches. We had never cut her hair before. She's 6 years old now. It was past her butt. We cut off 18 inches and sent it in.
Oh, that is so awesome. So awesome. Well, you know what? It'll take another year or two to do it. Think of the love that goes out with that. It's
Oh,
aptly named
absolutely.
Box for Love. My daughter did it. My wife did it a couple of times. I think both my daughters did. Such a
2000
great thing.
2002 or 2003, I forget which year it was. I had hair long enough to donate to Locks of Love, and I had the hair cut at a concert at Davis Park. It was pretty cool. We did that. We did a big show of it, and then one of our sign language interpreters for our concert, Jennifer Garden. Shout out Jennifer Garden. She had like hair twice as long as mine was at the time, and she did a donation that day too, as I remember it. And it was we took a picture of ourselves with our heads together and all this hair, and then we did the cut. Now we didn't do an after picture. I got a before picture, but I don't think we ever did an after picture.
I'm going to need proof of the before picture, Greg, because I can't even visualize that right now.
Go on Facebook. I believe
it's
there's
on
one
Facebook.
there. Correct?
I'm going to
Yeah.
go search right after this.
Yes, it's there, and I believe the picture of me and Jennifer. You might have better luck finding Jennifer Garden tagged picture than me. I don't know, but we'll.
Okay.
Oh, I love her in those Capital One commercials. No, I'm kidding.
Right.
By the way, Tiffany and Xavier, you may not know this, but Greg actually won you were either a runner-up or a winner of a Tom Cruise lookalike contest, correct? With the long hair. Is that not correct?
Well, it was in high school. Okay, he was just getting started, and I wore the
I
glasses.
can see that.
I could see that too.
I can see it.
And he was in his boxer shorts with a microphone.
I roam around town in a button-up shirt and slide around in my my stocking feet. That's what I do.
Greg Busy Business Saunders. I like it.
There you go. There you go. This show may or may not ever get serious today. So thanks for joining.
Let's hope not.
You have an event coming up that we definitely want to talk about, but before we get into the event things, let's start with you, Tiffany. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where did you grow up and go to high school? And please fill us in as much as you wish, kind of your resume, your career track, which brought you to where you currently are today.
You got it. So I grew up in Belvedere, not far from here at all. I live in Rockford now. And I graduated in 2006, went to school for photography and graphic design, and lived in the corporate world for quite a while until I started to start my own business called Elements and Ink Media. And then I got hooked up with Victory Pickleball and became their marketing manager as well, on top of what I do for my business. Met Xavier.
Where did you meet
What's that?
Tim, or did you meet his wife?
Oh, no. I saw a post on Facebook that said, we need help with marketing for Victory when it was still in construction. And I'm like, that's me.
Awesome.
Reached out to him, never looked back, have been there ever since. Got hooked up with Xavier through there, then found out that she's got a grandchild that goes to the same school that my daughter goes to, and developed a relationship with her. And then we came up with this whole plan for the event that we're going to talk about here shortly. And it's been a whirlwind ever since then. I'm pretty sure my life has been fast-tracked since the moment I graduated high school to now.
That's awesome. That's so cool. I'm going to get in trouble here. I got a stack of business cards sitting next to me, and the one that's been on top for quite a while is this
Victory
one right here.
Pickleball. There it is.
From their opening night, I have this still sitting here, and one of the reasons is I know either in 2025 at some point, In Crowd 815 is going to have an event at Victory Pickleball. I just don't know when it's going to be or what it's going to look like, but it's on the short list of things that just got to do in 2025 for the In Crowd.
Well, spoiler alert, you're talking to the events manager as well right now. So you got to call me.
Awesome. I can't wait to organize something with you, whatever it might look like, whatever we might. Let's see. We just did trivia. We just did karaoke trivia. Can we do karaoke pickleball?
Ooh.
Yes, we can.
Let's brainstorm that up. All right. Xavier, you're up next. Where did you grow up, and what career path led you to where you are today?
Well, I grew up primarily, we did move around quite a bit, but primarily in Harvard, and I graduated from Harvard High School. My career path is completely different than what's brought me here today. My career has always been in finance and accounting background. However, and then we've always been involved with youth, and my husband's a pastor, so youth, working with youth, supporting youth. And then in 2014, we lost my son Tommy to suicide as a result of depression, and that kind of catapulted me into a new purpose in life, where we started our foundation to create resources, support, and in our community to help. Again, primarily our focus is teen and young adults, but we really have supported and helped anybody that is struggling with their mental health in the community. So really what brought me to where I am today is the loss of my son and the pain of that, and trying to find a purpose in that pain to help others and support our community to make it better, and also help people through what we've been through if they're going through it, but also try to prevent other families from ever having to experience the type of loss we've been through.
Yeah. And we've seen a lot of that. We've had, of course, Kevin Polke on from SOS, and how would you describe it? It's kind of the community within the community. The not-for-profit community is a wonderful community already in the 815, and now we have this niche, if you will, within that not-for-profit community of these organizations that are helping us with our mental health.
Yes.
And some of it's involving suicide, and some of it is involving, drugs, and some of it is involving alcohol. And there's a lot of different things that we experience and have friends and family experiencing, trying to cope with this thing we call life. And is there something specific niche wise that you see that you're filling that other organizations don't? Again, this isn't a competition, or I know there's cooperation amongst all these groups, which is beautiful to see. It's beautiful to see how these terrible things that have happened in people's lives have come together to say, okay, that hurts, that's bad, how do we at least make things better, if not fix it? Is there a certain kind of a niche you find yourself in that you can describe to people when they ask you?
Yeah, I think our goal has always been to find gaps and fill gaps in the community that we see that are needed with regards to mental health and suicide prevention. We do support groups. Now there's many support groups, right? We were one of the first 6 or 7 years ago organizations to fill the gap of financial support for counseling for individuals. There's still very few of us that do that, but oftentimes people are struggling, need to get in with a counselor, but maybe they're on Medicare, Medicaid, and there's a 3 to 6 month waiting list. So we help with that interim, get them in with a counselor, pay for it. Or maybe they don't have insurance at all, or high copays they can't afford. So a lot of our fundraising, just like this event we're going to talk about, most of that money directly goes to pay for counseling services for individuals who need it but can't otherwise afford it. And that's something that we're very proud of, and a large portion of our budget goes towards that, specifically because there's a huge need in our community. Another thing that's unique to us is we're one of the very few mental health first aid providers in the community. We are the go-to to provide that mental health first aid education to communities, to other nonprofits. We're the ones that are training other nonprofit staff on how to, know what's going on, how to identify what type of struggle they might be going through, and understanding the different resources that are in the community that they can connect them with. So mental health first aid, we do training for the general public adults, those that work with youth. We train for public safety, fire, EMS, veterans and veteran services, and higher education. We've got all of those credentials, and because of our partnership and grant that we got through the Winnebago County Mental Health Board, we actually can offer that in Winnebago County for free. When we do training outside of the county, all of our instructors are volunteer based. So really we only charge for the cost of the materials and the supplies. So we keep it very low cost, because our philosophy is the more people we can educate, the better off our community and those struggling with their mental health are going to be. So really that's our goal, is to just get as many people trained to understand the signs and symptoms, the differences between early signs and symptoms and being in a crisis, and then understanding how to respond in those situations and what resources are in our community. Most recently, I would say we started getting involved with kids 7 to 12-year-olds, because we understand that that's another area that there's just not a lot for kids. And there are so many kids. My granddaughter is who inspired me to start this. She's 9 years old, lost her dad. Her mom was pregnant at the time that my son died by suicide, and really seeing her struggle with anxiety and grief and pain, and realizing there's not a lot of support out there for kids in that age range. So we started Healthy Mind Kids Club in collaboration through some grants that we've received with a local therapist. We're teaching them how to identify their feelings and talk about it. We're teaching them healthy coping strategies, how to communicate with other kids their age in a healthy and effective way. And it's just been really great to see how these kids can blossom just by getting the understanding and support that it's okay to struggle. It's okay to talk about when you're having anxiety, and helping them identify that when they have a stomach ache, a lot of times that's a sign of anxiety or struggles, and being able to communicate that to their parents and talk through those things and work through those things is really important. So
Our bodies all respond differently to stress and to anxiety and all that sort of stuff, right?
Yes.
So it's good to be able to talk through that and have people figure out, okay, is this truly an illness? Is this a sickness, a disease, or is this a mental health thing? I mean, they're all tied together. Don't get me wrong, but is this something that's more of a symptom than an actual illness or something like that? I love how you phrase mental health first aid.
Mhm.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's actually a national program. It's through the National Council of Behavioral Health that we become certified through. And really, it's kind of like CPR, right? But it's for mental health. It's like those people, we're not therapists or counselors, but we're trained to be able to identify, hey, this is a mental health thing going on. How can we support this person and get them connected to the help and the resources that they need? And really identifying and understanding that, because oftentimes when somebody's struggling, they might just be looked at as, oh, they're just acting out, or they're just this, but really it's that underlying mental health issue. And the way we approach people in that makes a difference of what the outcome's going to be as well. So training people to understand that and identify that is really critical.
That's cool.
Everybody may have the same issue, but the background, how they got from that point to that point, is different. And I think that's what you have to look at. I've had similar experiences with my brother, who passed away a number of years ago, about 3 or 4 years ago now. And he had a very, very, very rough past. And his road to where he finally got reconciliation was completely different than the road that other people take. So I think understanding where they were helps you to get to where you need to be. That's just my little tidbit. It is coming from experience. I don't know if that means anything. It does to me.
Yeah, it
Absolutely.
definitely does. Unfortunately, I was the one that found my son the day he took his life. So I've had my own struggles and mental health, which have helped me obviously connect with others in a more real way, from my own experience. But I definitely learned a lot through that experience, learned a lot about what helps and what doesn't help. But when I'm talking to people, I would never tell them like, this is what you need to do because this worked for me, right? Because everybody's so different. But helping people know that there's so many options out there for them and helping them find the right option for them is kind of what we do as well. We're trying to just help them get the support and the resources that they need. And that's why collaboration amongst these nonprofits are so important too, because we don't do everything, but we can refer to other organizations that are doing what they need if that's what's going to be better for them, and vice versa. So really, knowing the resources and understanding and being able to refer people is really important to the work we do as well.
I think the most important, the key part of that is all is not lost. There is always help. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to find it. And it may be a hard road, but it's well worth it in the end.
Charmel Jacobs from the Rockford Rescue Mission really summed things up for us at the end of the night. Not the end of the night, but after Rockford Rescue Mission won the grand prize at the karaoke trivia contest, she's like, we at the Rescue Mission, we work for and with all of you. We seek you for the things that our residents and the people that we help need, because we provide something, but it's not everything. And when we need stuff, we turn to you, the other great local not-for-profits here in the 815. And she summed it up so well. I've got the Facebook page up for Tommy Corral Memorial Foundation, and I want to bring up also the next page for the event. Before we get to the event itself, the money raised at an event like this or any other events that you do, Xavier, is what does the money go toward at the Tommy Corral Memorial Foundation? What are they helping to pay for?
Well, one thing to know is we're 100% volunteer based. We have no paid employees. So 100% of the proceeds actually go to pay for counseling for individuals who need it. Last year, we paid over $25,000 in counseling services. We also pay for, again, different supplies for like when we're doing the Healthy Mind Kids Club and a lot of our support groups. We do advocacy and outreach. So we're, buying things that can go with that. And it also goes to, one thing I forgot to mention is we do mental health retreats. And again, we do this. Last year, we had 50 women that had experienced trauma and grief attend that retreat. And oftentimes they can't afford to pay the cost to come to the weekend retreat. So money is set aside to sponsor them and be able to pay for that as well, so that they can attend and get that care. So a large amount of our money goes to counseling, paying for education or outreach supplies, paying for supplies for different support groups and Healthy Mind Kids Club, and then paying for individuals to attend our retreat so that they can get the support and help that they need.
Awesome. Good deal. Well, Tiffany, you've obviously helped Xavier set up this great event coming up on November 9th. Tell us about the Paddle to Battle Suicide.
November 9th. 5 to 9 p.m. We decided to go a little bit of a different route than a normal charity event and turn this into an interactive one that everybody can attend. We want families, we want kids to be able to come. We're going to have music, we're going to have food, we're going to have drinks, we're going to have raffles. We're going to have all sorts of amazing baskets that Xavier and some of the sponsors have put together. And you've got 4 hours of pickleball, all for $50. That's going to get you in the door, get you hours of play, get you interacting with other individuals, and just fun on the courts.
Nice. So right there on the corner of Alpine Road and Windsor in Loves Park, Victory Pickleball. And for those who have not yet checked it out since they've renovated the place and turned it into this pickleball
mansion. It's like this beautiful
pickleball paradise is what I should
pickleball
call
paradise.
it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it is just beautiful. What Tim's done over there is absolutely amazing. And of course, his story about
54,000 square feet of fun.
It's beautiful.
54,000. We've got 15 indoor courts, a full restaurant. We've got everything you want.
You've got the tap wall with all of the choices of any sort of drink that you would
30
want
plus,
to
yeah.
have.
Yeah, I didn't know if we could talk about alcohol right now, but I mean, it's
one of the
what
more
is it,
interesting,
8:24 in the morning? Who
opportunities.
needs a drink? We've got 30 different options on our tap wall.
Ales and wines and liquors.
All of the
and
above. We have a whole cocktail station with hard liquors on tap too that you go over and you can make yourself a cocktail.
There you go.
Be your own bartender.
Exactly. It's you know how fun it is when you've got a certain type of a drink. I have a certain drink when I volunteer at Starlight Theater. When I'm doing concessions at Starlight Theater, there are 3 things I put in my cup. Do I need to tell you what they are? I don't know. I do. My drink is a 3 mixed drink. I got lemonade, I got raspberry brisk, and a little bit of whatever the white soda is at the time. It's not Sierra Mist anymore. It's Starry. That's what it is. It's
Starry, yeah.
Okay.
Those 3 things make a spectacular drink. Call it the Greg or whatever. I don't care. That's my drink. You can figure that out for yourself at Victory Pickleball and their tap wall. So, is there still room for people to sign up and be a part of this November 9th?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes, we are looking for people to register now, but we are also going to be accepting walk-ins the day of.
Okay. So Paddle to Battle Suicide is on Saturday, November 9th, just in a few weeks' time here, 5 to 9 p.m. And if for no other reason, go and support the TCMF and check out Victory Pickleball Center and just see what's going on there, because it's quite the facility.
Okay, so well, I'm so sorry, Greg. I don't want to forget this, but do you have to have your own pickleball paddle, or
Nope.
do you provide them?
No, especially for events that we put on, all of the paddles and the balls are provided.
Okay.
We also have a head pro that's going to be there teaching people how to play, and another one that's going to be running a tournament. We have wonderful people at Victory who are always willing to help.
Because I'd come with a cut-off boat oar.
I'm imagining you with whatever you found in your garage. Honestly, that's the vibe you're giving me. That you're just going to come in there and whack the heck out of something.
Yeah, I found an old skateboard. I just cut the wheels off and put a broom handle on it. That'll work, right?
Honestly, that might work. We played with pots and pans the other day just to see how it would work to get some great video content.
Nice.
It doesn't work great, just so you know.
That didn't work too well.
No.
Teflon pickleball? No, that's not the thing. All right. Well, is there anything we did not ask you, ladies, before we move on to our trivia transition with Tom here?
Not that I can think of. Xavier rocked that like she had it built into her mind bank.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Perfect.
The only thing I would mention is we do have some great sponsors too, but we're always looking for additional sponsors. But Field is our primary sponsor. And then we've got Top Dollar Slots, which is right next to Victory, who's sponsoring, and PC2 Tech. So just want to say thank you to them. And if anybody else is interested in sponsoring this great event, having some people come as part of that sponsorship, we'd love to have you. So
kudos to Ernie and his team over there at Field, right?
Yeah, they're awesome. So
they're so good. All right. Dog says Dar.
I was afraid it was going to be me with the dog problem. I'm glad it's you, Greg.
It's going to be an interesting day here at the Casa de Saunders. So we'll talk about that next week. All right. So Tom, we have to bring Jim in, and I think we're going to try to bring Joanne in as well for our transition trivia with Tom. Jim is here. Joanne is here. Good morning.
Morning, Greg.
Thanks
morning,
for
guys.
joining us today.
Good morning.
Thank you.
We're going to get into all things Jim Hall here in a little bit. I'm going to rearrange.
Yeah. That won't take long.
There we go.
All right.
I bet you're joking, Jim, but let's go with trivia first. Tim, take it away.
Okay, 2 things real quick. First and foremost, for anybody, going back to our previous interview here, for anybody thinking about it, we've all been affected by suicide, whether it's teen, whether it's adult, whatever. So be mindful of that and how much you can help just with your donation, just with showing up and being supportive. I had a nephew that took his own life, and it has affected my niece. Well, my grandnephew, I guess, her son, and it affects us all. The other thing, on a lighter note, Xavier, this is a great opening line for you. When you tell people you graduated from Harvard, you get looks like, oh wow, we got a genius in the house.
Yeah. I get that
I
a
think it's
lot.
so
I'm like,
cool.
no, not that Harvard.
Not that Harvard light. I used to deliver. I'm going to preface this by saying I used to deliver Coca-Cola years ago. I would deliver to the Dixon State Prison. That is not even a nice place to visit. Certainly wouldn't want to live there. So I tell people in joking, I say, yeah, I spent some time at the Dixon State Prison. They're like, oh, really? Back away. No. Delivering Coke. I
You need
mean
the street cred, you pull that
Coca-Cola.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. It depends on the group. I have to preface it first. Otherwise, if it's some friends or whatever, I'll play with it for a little bit. Anyway, all right, on to trivia. All right, I'm going to give you 6 questions. One of them is a Rockford trivia question.
Uh-oh.
So here we go. Anybody can answer, but Gregors, you can't. If you know the answer, let
I'm going to
everybody
try to
else.
be the coach. That's what I'm going to take the role
There
of
you go.
coach.
There you go. Okay, somewhat related to pickleball. In the game of table tennis or ping pong, how many points wins a game in just your average regulation? Not championship, not Olympic, because I don't know if the rules are different. Is it 11 points or 15 points?
15.
Once again, how many points in table tennis, ping pong wins the game? Is it 11 or 15?
15.
I always
think it's
remember playing to 15. Yeah, I always thought we played to 15 and had to win by 2. That was our rule.
What say you, Joanne?
I'd say 15.
Everybody in agreement?
I'd say by default, 15 is more than 11. Yep, 15.
It is 11. That is the answer.
Yeah, thanks.
But you do have to win by 2, Greg. You get a half a point. No, I'm just
Okay,
kidding.
all right.
All right. Everybody's favorite snack is Slim Jims. When were they first created? Was it 1929 or 1959? And I'm not sure it's everybody's favorite snack.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
I don't hate them or love them. They're
much
just,
prefer Twinkies, by the way, but these are probably better for you. Maybe not. Once again,
I would say
everybody's
those
favorite-
are equally terrible for you, Tom. and
I
you
say
should
most
probably
of them have
stop
been
eating
around
both.
since 1929. Most of them have been in the package since 1929. So yeah,
that's a good guess.
Is that-
Let's go with
is that-
Jim's
And
guess.
sometimes, they're hard to get out because they're going to be in the package even longer.
Mm.
Yeah. I wait for my dog to rip into it, then I snag it out of his paws. So anyway, so I got this bite. No, I'm kidding. 1929, correct. Very good.
All right.
There we go.
Jim. Very good. All right. In which U.S. state would you find Gonzaga University? They are the Gonzaga Zags. Pretty good in basketball. Once again, in which U.S. state would you find Gonzaga University?
Aren't they in the Pacific Northwest?
I don't know. Maybe
I want
not.
to play it safe and say Puerto Rico.
It's Washington State. I think they're in Washington.
Everybody in agreement with that?
Sure.
Say yes.
Sure.
I have no idea.
Washington.
No idea.
Nicely
Oh,
done.
You get it. You're a team here. You're a team.
All right.
All right. Who wrote the children's book series? By the way, Joanne, the preschool teacher and everything else, you should probably get this one. Who wrote the children's book series Goosebumps?
Oh, that's
R.L. Stein.
school.
Yes.
R.L. Stein.
R.L.
Yeah.
Stein. Was that Tiffany?
Yep.
Who
Mhm.
said that? Okay, very good.
Tiffany.
Very good. You're all getting involved. I love it. Okay. This one's a real easy one. I had to do it on the fly. Which U.S. state has a monument that says Gateway to the West?
Anyone?
Once again, which U.S. state has a monument that says Gateway to the West?
We're going to tick off 49 states here. So Missouri.
What's on the monument?
Sorry.
I was going to say.
There you go.
I-
Jim's got it.
Greg, here's your hint.
Jim's got it.
It's
Think
Utah,
it's
right?
Oh, no.
No,
No,
there's an arch in Utah, but the arch that leads to the west is in Missouri.
Actually, that was a very good guess. The
Oh,
arch is National Park.
The other
There's a
one.
really cool arch, but it's the St. Louis Arch. I've been in it
Yeah,
twice.
that's what
Yeah.
it was.
It is amazing.
Mm.
Absolutely amazing. Scary as heck, though. The little egg-shaped car goes like this on the way up,
Yeah.
and it's like, woo, woo. I'm way too
You
old to do
feel
that
like
now.
when you go in it, it's like you are in a washing machine.
Yes, that's a good point. You're right. Okay, now here we go.
Wow.
Here we go. This one was from last week because we were doing live from Rivets Stadium. Greg was anyway. So I had a Rockford Rivets question. In what year did the Rivets start playing ball in Rockford? I don't mean like the stadium. I don't mean all that, but the Rivets themselves. In what year did the Rivets start playing baseball in Rockford? And I will say this, a little longer than you think, longer than I thought.
Well,
Unless my information's wrong.
they
The internet does lie. Keep that in mind.
the Rockford Riverhawks moved to the stadium in Loves Park. So they were still the Riverhawks for at least a season or two in Loves Park.
Right.
That's what I was going to say. Does this include with name change?
No, it's when the Rivets, the actual different league, different everything. Same park, yes. When the Rivets actually started. There's no right or wrong answer because there's no money on the line here.
Oh, wouldn't it be nice if that was always that way in life? 2015.
It's been almost 10 years, so it's like 2014 or 15, I think. I think you're really close.
Is everybody in agreement with Jim?
Yes.
Don't
Very
ever do
good.
that again. Trust me, don't ever do that again.
All right, Jim, what's 2 + 2?
5.5.
Oh, okay, so you were right. Don't listen to
Yeah.
Jim. No, he was
There we
right.
go.
2015.
It was 2015?
Well done,
Yeah.
panel. Well done.
This
was
was
good.
good. This is good. Candy kudos for us all. Again, the Paddle
There
to
you go.
Battle Suicide is coming up November 9th. Food and fun and games and music and drinks and raffles. Oh, yeah. And pickleball all happening at Victory. And you're invited to come check things out, whether you like pickleball or not.
And
Come
apparently you can exercise by playing pickleball, and then you can get tickled afterwards. With any one of the 30 drinks up top.
We
So,
call that a happy balance, Tom.
oh, there you go. I may
Happy
start
balance.
drinking. Who knows?
Yeah.
Tiffany.
People play
I
so then
like
they
the
can go
red
eat and
one
drink.
there. And
That's right. That's right. Burn the calories first. So,
Yep.
Javier, Tiffany, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you.
Best of luck to you in your event, and we look forward to connecting with you down the line for all different types of things here in the years to come. All right.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. There
Good
you
luck,
go.
guys.
both of you.
All right, Jim Hall. Jim,
Morning.
how are you today?
Actually, I'm great. It's Saturday, all day today.
It's Saturday all day today.
All
and
day today.
You're a part of this thing, or I'm assuming actually. I'm going to assume and try see if I get in trouble. I'm assuming that you started this thing called Rebops.
Well, I did, but I honestly learned it from Rocksteady Boxing
Okay.
about 8 years ago. Rebops is for Parkinson's fitness therapy.
Okay. Well, let's do this. Let's start with where we like to start. Who's Jim Hall? Where did you grow up, go to school, and what's the kind of the career arc that led you to where you are today?
Okay, wow. I'm a Californian. Yep, I'm knocking on the door of 60, but I moved here at the age of 30 by choice. I love Rockford. I love Rockfordians. I love the Midwest. I think it was I can't remember who it was that said that the great thing about the Midwest, it's almost like God reached down and grabbed the middle of the country with his thumb and his index finger and pulled up, and everything that didn't have roots just fell to the coasts. And that's what I honestly believe about the Midwest. So, anyways, yeah, I moved here about 30 years ago by choice. Family of 3 kids, wonderful wife, and like I said, I love Rockfordians. Used to be the training director at the Rockford YMCA. I've been a personal trainer for 40 years. And 8 years ago, I got involved with helping people with Parkinson's. Lost my mother to MS and brain cancer. And as a trainer, I tried everything that I knew to help. And I learned that everything that I knew didn't do a darn thing for her conditions. But it fits perfectly with Parkinson's. Parkinson's is the one neurological disease that the harder and more diverse you work, the better your chance at improving your symptoms.
Okay. I think a large portion of our country first became really aware of Parkinson's, I think, when Michael J. Fox got diagnosed with it, right? Is that
Makes sense.
fair to say?
Yep. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and when you're asked what Parkinson's is, I guess, do you have a kind of a thumbnail answer to how to describe what it is and how you help it, I guess?
It's a degenerative neurological condition that relates to dopamine production in the brain. And it is the one neurological disease they say that doesn't kill you. It just sucks all of your life away.
Hmm.
And when it comes to Parkinson's, it's uncurable, it's unpredictable, it's unpreventable, but it's also unbelievably valuable to live certain ways, whether you have Parkinson's or not, in their most effective way. You mentioned that Michael J. Fox having Parkinson's. Michael J. actually once said, if he had to get anything, he was glad it was Parkinson's.
Mm.
And I'm not sure exactly why, except for the fact that it's the one neurological disease that you can do the most about. Again, I've helped people with ALS. I've helped people with MS, like my mom. I've worked with people with something called Charcot-Marie-Tooth. And Parkinson's is the one thing that is totally uniquely different. So I'm fortunate that I get to work the heck out of them. And I have an excuse. Yeah.
Nice. So the event that you have coming up, first thing I guess I should bring up is your actual Facebook page here. So let's show this off before we get to the event itself. And Rockford State Line Fitness Boxing Therapy.
Yeah.
Rebops, Rockford Exercise.
Yeah, Rebops, Rockford Exercise Boxing, overcoming Parkinson's symptoms.
Nice. Now, how many folks have you been serving here recently?
Well, our program has been as big as 25 people at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And then COVID slowed everything down, and then now we're building back up. Also, in the last couple of years, that's when we became a nonprofit, because we wanted to be able to serve everybody based on their need, not necessarily based on their ability to pay.
Okay.
Owned my own gym here in town for a couple of decades. So we hold the program at Cross Point Church 3 times a week. And there's days that you're going to end up getting a dozen people that can make it to class. And there's days that Parkinson's has their way with them, has its way with them. And class sizes are a little more intimate.
Okay. Well, I've got your banner here, and I think I can throw that on the screen as well. For the walk.
There we are.
Parkinson's, and explain what this is going to be all about on Wednesday,
October 23rd. This is the first time that the Parkinson's Foundation has ever had what's called a moving day walk in the Rockford area. When they just did one October 5th in Chicago, they do them in all the big cities, Phoenix, LA, New York, Las Vegas. But this is the first time they've ever had a moving day walk here in the Rockford area. The reason behind doing this, I contacted them. If you think about it, this is a walk primarily for awareness. Okay. In other words, nobody's going to get their Parkinson's cured that day. And since there is no cure for it, the closest thing that we have to a cure is community. And that's what this is trying to build. And if you think about it, the average onset of Parkinson's is about my age, about 60 years old. And the average 60-year-old with Parkinson's is probably not going to want to drive 2 hours into Chicago to be involved in a Parkinson's walk.
We probably
got a lot of people
them driving in Chicago.
There we go. But statistically, we've got between, say, 1,200 to 1,500 people in our Rockford, Winnebago County state line area that would be afflicted by Parkinson's. And this gives them an opportunity to be involved and gives their caregivers and their loved ones and their neighbors an opportunity to support. So we're holding it at Cross Point Church on Wednesday. The walk starts at 11. We're going to let you come on in early if you want to do a registration ahead of time. Registration, just come on in, shake hands, that type of thing. And then afterwards at 12 o'clock, we've actually got Dr. Jory Fleischer doing a lunch and learn at Cross Point Church. Dr. Jory is one of the top movement disorder specialists and neurologists in the Midwest out of Rush. I describe her as kind of your best friend, but your best friend who happens to know everything there is to know about Parkinson's.
Gotcha.
Off the top of your head, and you may have said this and I may have missed it. Yes, there's no cure, but what are some things that can slow it down? Are there drugs out there that will slow it down? Maybe kind of stave off? Like, let's say you might have 10 years, now it's going to give you 15.
Interesting. Okay, a couple of things. One of the first things that happens with most people is they're given the option to get involved in a drug called levodopa carbidopa, which is a manufactured method of similar to dopamine, again, which is the problem. By the time somebody gets diagnosed with Parkinson's, about 60, on average, 60 to 80% of the portion of the brain that produces dopamine is dead by the time they're actually diagnosed. Okay. So they have to live with a lot less for the rest of their life. Michael J. Fox would be the first one to tell you, and so would the foundation. The two things that have been scientifically proven to work best with Parkinson's are nutrition and exercise.
Okay.
So again, give an example. I recently just published a book. It's called "Got Parkinson's? Are You Sure?" Shameless plug. But it actually talks about the value of every single one of us living a certain way, because since we don't know whether or not we will get Parkinson's or whether or not we won't, if there's a way that we can live that's healthy for us now and preventative. Nutritionally, if you follow certain dietary methods, the statistics show that you can actually postpone the onset of Parkinson's by 17 and a half years, 17.4. So I've got a story in my book about a woman who actually experienced, at the age of about 32 years old, she experienced her first symptoms while she was pregnant. And then as she's got her toddler, as she's got her newborn, she gets the actual diagnosis: you have Parkinson's disease. Now, following certain methods, that would be like the difference between having that baby and having that child graduate high school before you saw your first symptoms. Make sense? So, and that's exercise and nutrition that science shows are the best way of postponing it and slowing it down. But sometimes you have to do medicine.
Yeah, that is essentially the drug. It's good food, good nutrition.
It is. There is a surgical procedure called DBS, deep brain stimulation, that works for some people, but only certain people are candidates. Parkinson's is the most frustratingly unique neurological condition in that everybody's is completely unique, kind of like what you were talking about before as far as depression, because we have all experienced loss in our life because of somebody that we know who, based on depression, or took their own life. But everybody's response is a little different. That's the way Parkinson's affects people. Everybody is 100% unique.
Have you ever reached out to Michael J. Fox, maybe talked to him, invited him to come and speak, if that's even possible?
Actually, the only person that I've reached out to and invited to speak recently, and I didn't hear back from him, but he's busy right now, is Ryan Reynolds. Ryan's father passed with Parkinson's, I believe probably around 2015. And Ryan Reynolds actually ran the New York Marathon in under 4 hours, raised over $100,000, and he did it and donated it all to the Michael J. Fox Foundation.
Wow.
The only other reason that I did it for Ryan is because October 23rd, when we're holding the event, that's Ryan Reynolds' birthday.
Oh.
So I figured maybe he's, maybe if he's got nothing better, I might get a Zoom call that day. The invite's still out there, Mr. Reynolds.
I actually like Ryan Reynolds. He's quite a character. He's a good guy. He sounds like a straight shooter.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
Our friends over at Fresh Prince of Loves Park, Julie and Mike, are asking if there are any local support groups that you are aware of that are meeting to share with this Parkinson's.
Well, that's why actually there's two programs that are similar in this town. And we both actually started at the exact same time. Ours is Rebops, and then there's another one called Copy, which is Knockout Parkinson's, and both are nonprofits. And I definitely recommend that you get involved, honestly, in either one. I used to actually attend and speak at the support group that was held at Wesley Willows, which was put on by the Wisconsin Parkinson's Foundation. And that was the interesting irony, is that it took the Wisconsin's Parkinson Foundation to get involved to have a support group in Rockford, because nothing existed. And that's kind of what we're hoping to build with this. Again, that's the reason for the walk October 23rd. We're trying to build community. There is no guarantee that it will not be me next year or anybody else on this Zoom call right now.
Right. Last question for me anyway. Is there a reason why you're having it on a Wednesday?
Dr. Jory. Let's blame Dr. Fleischer. We started off with this lunch and learn with Dr. Fleischer, and the last opportunity to get her in for the schedule this year was October 23rd. It was a Wednesday. And then we've got another woman. Her name is Barb. She's wonderful. She's 84 years old. Barb, I just told everybody. She's actually the subject of chapter 12 of my book. And Barb, who is just barely 5 foot tall, chimes in and goes, "We need to have a walk." And I'm like, "Yeah, on Wednesday." We reached out to the Parkinsons Foundation. They were excited because nobody's ever done a walk in Rockford again for
Yeah.
this. So we're going to do it on a Wednesday, and if you can get an hour off between 11 and 12, that's great. If you can come to the lunch, that's great. But either way, we plan on doing this again. So maybe next year we'll have it on a more convenient day, like a Monday morning.
Yeah. Well, you
That's
go where the
a
support
joke,
leads you,
guys.
my friend.
That's a joke.
You go where the support leads you, my friend, and that's what we did with our last event here, doing it on a Thursday night. The
Yep.
karaoke trivia contest thing that we just did. That's where it made sense for those we're having the support, giving the support.
So there is hope and promise. Good. I like that. Good.
Absolutely. Well, is there anything that we did not ask you about today that you want to make sure we get the message out before we let you go?
It's a 45-minute walk. We'll provide you a bottle of water.
Okay.
And the best thing that we can do with Parkinson's is people with Parkinson's suffer from something called involution. They shut down, they close into themselves.
Mm-hmm.
The best way to prevent that is to show them that there's a big community out there that may not understand what they're going through, but wants to. So the best thing is show up and walk. We appreciate it.
Take that first step, get out there. And one of my mantras of my life, Jim, I think you'll appreciate this. It's 3 words. It's action cures fear. And
Ooh, that's good.
Action cures fear. We all got fears about some things, and we all need to do some things. And when it comes down to it, and you got to do it, take that first step. Action cures fear. You'll feel better once you do that first thing, whatever that first thing might be. Movement. And you know all about movement.
Every miracle began with a step. There we go.
Absolutely. Jim, I appreciate your time today. I hope you have a wonderful event on Wednesday.
Thank you, Greg, for everything. And thank you, everybody out there. Look forward to seeing you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and for people who may not know, Cross Point Church is on State Street. Is that correct?
3215 East State. It's just west of Fairview. You know where Chuck E. Cheese is? Just head west a little bit.
Head west, young man.
The former Temple Baptist Church.
Yes.
Exactly.
There you go. Yep. All right, Jim. Have a great weekend.
Thanks again, guys. God bless. Talk to you.
God bless, Jim. Yes.
With Rebops here in Rockford, and that event is this Wednesday. Starting to check in at 10, starts at 11 over there at Cross Point.
I gotta say, I gotta put this out there. Every time I see that Rebops, Cyndi Lauper's song "She Bop" keeps popping into my head. That'd be a great song to use for their, but change it to "re" instead of "she." Rebop, please come and help us.
That's a parody now that I'm going to have stuck in my head all day today, Tom.
You are welcome. 99 bottles of beer on the wall. 99 bottles of beer. It's better than that
Joanne
one, right?
Joanne keeps gaining and losing her Wi-Fi over there at Pause Humane Society. We just lost her again. Sorry, Joanne. And we do need to kind of land this plane rather quickly. So I'd want to give some shout outs real quick before we wrap up. Of course, Thursday night, our big karaoke trivia contest fundraiser night was a huge success. And I got to thank so many people. I can't thank them all. There's just a lot of people that made that happen. Medicare 411 being chief among that whole thing. So Medicare 411, Tracy Foltz, thank you for embracing the vision and jumping on this thing and saying, yep, let's give it a try. And let's do this in support of Mosaic of Rockford and in all these other not-for-profits that want to participate. 10 not-for-profits participated. 3 of them won cash prizes for their not-for-profits. And those the winners included Rock House Kids, Marshmallows Hope, and the Rockford Rescue Mission. So congratulations to the Rescue Mission team, sponsored by Sold on Tony Keller Williams Realty, for winning the big $1,000 prize this year.
And as I said, I got up and I said, I'm going to send out a thank you because he won't do it, meaning you, of course. Greg, I cannot emphasize enough how incredible that was and what you did and what you put together. And it's not all about you. It's all about everybody. But someone had to take the initial step. And you approached me with the idea probably 8 months ago, or whatever. And I thought, wow, are you serious? And you said you would like to do it at the Coronado one day.
That's true.
Based on what happened on Thursday night, I think sooner than later.
That would be my pipe dream goal, is to have this eventually at the Coronado Theater. And for those who experienced it on Thursday night, imagine those 10 or maybe 11 or 12 teams on the stage at the Coronado Theater doing this like a game show and having the audience somewhat participating, so kind of like we did Thursday night.
Mhm.
We're going to work on the tweaks. We're going to work on some things, some wrinkles in the coming years to involve the audience more, because that was one of the things that we realized, you know what, we could have done more to get the audience actually involved in the whole thing. So hopefully we get to the point where we're raising a lot more than just $1,000 for the grand prize winner. I would love to see every team be able to raise $1,000 minimum just for participating in this event, and have the winner get some huge big prize at the end of it. So we got stuff we're hoping to do.
Yeah.
I think Joanne's either battery's dying or something's going on at Paws Humane Society. So we've Joanne, if you're still
Text
listening,
Greg with your answer.
text me with your answer. Yeah, I'll put this on the dudes or descended is the big number of the week. Dudes or descended, 11.5 million. Thank you, Tom, for doing all the trivia, being our trivia master for the evening. The questions were tough, and that was fun. There was enough easy ones in there mixed in that I wouldn't even call them easy, but there was enough ones in there that it was a great balance. It was a great.
Well, there has to be. Yeah, thank you for that. There has to be a good set of common knowledge stuff, and then you're going to have some. There were some 50-50 ones. That's a simple flip of a coin, but and that's what I try to maintain every single time. I keep in mind that there are 8 people on a team. You've got 8 people on a team. That means you got 8 brains working on it. If that guy doesn't know it, that girl might know it. If she doesn't know it, he might know it. So
Absolutely.
It's different when you're doing pub trivia and you might have a team of 2 or 3 people. Sometimes you have to dumb it down a bit. I wanted to keep it tough enough to where it's going to challenge people, yet not so tough that people are going to walk away going, oh God, that guy just weird. So I got a lot of positive feedback, but I always encourage negative feedback. And constructive criticism, I have no problem with it. So
absolutely.
Later at some point, if you want to sit down and give me some real good feedback on it, we can go over the questions again, just so for next year, I know. But I've been doing this a long time. I got a good feel, I think, for the questions. So
you did perfect. It was great. It was great. And Tracy Matsky, our karaoke queen, she had the stuff together. She's a great host too. She could have hosted the whole thing herself. She's that
I was very impressed with her when she grabbed the mic. She goes, "Okay, welcome everybody to trivia, whatever. Are we having some fun?" It's like, whoa, she morphed into Rick Dees.
She's a performer, and if you haven't seen her band, the Rock Surfers, yet, get out and see them. They are so much fun. It's very talented. Very talented group. Rock Surfers in Rockford. Hilton Garden Inn, thanks to V and to Laney and their team for facilitating the facility. That was great. We had a lot of help, and it was a beautiful, beautiful venue. And again, Medicare 411, title underwriters of Agency of Rockford. They also were a sponsor of 2 of the 10 teams this year. So thanks to them for being a big time sponsor for this as well. And we've posted on our Facebook page the other sponsors and other teams that participated. So follow us on InCrowd 815 on all the socials, and we'll be sharing some of that stuff from the event over the rest of the next few weeks.
I would like to say one more thing about Hilton Gardens. I have done several events there. I've done a couple weddings. We had a trivia event there. I was playing, not hosting. It was my boss, Mike, that was doing the hosting. I've been there a number of times, probably about 6 times. Not one single time have I had a bad experience. It is an amazing place. And my daughter got married there too. Wow. I just kind of buried that one. My daughter got married there. They do a phenomenal job. Top to bottom, start to finish. Beautiful. They are wonderful. So
beautiful facility.
Oh my God, yes. Wonderful.
Other shout outs for this week, really quick. Youth Services Network. They had a big bowling fundraiser last week on Saturday night. Huge turnout. Park Lanes was packed with supporters for Youth Services Network. And it was special. They did a really fun night of bowling at Park Lanes in Loves Park. And then kudos and congratulations to Adam on closing on his house this week. Our sold on Tony Keller Williams Realty client Adam buying his house. And so congratulations to him. You know what? I think like I said, Joanne's having technical difficulties, Tom. I don't think we're gonna get her answer. So we'll just play for the fun of it this week when it comes to this. Our current race to 10 has Tom and Joanne tied at 4, and we've lost Joanne for this week. I'm sorry, Joanne. 11.5 million. The big number of this week, descended or dudes, is the answer. Tom
I
said.
think I went with dudes.
Tom said dudes, and let's see. There is, where did it go? Here we go. Last month, it's a Chicago-based startup called Pi, P-I-E. They announced they raised $11.5 million on its mission to fight social isolation by helping you make friends through an app of curated events around the city. One of those events is called Dudes Getting Pancakes.
Okay.
Dudes Getting Pancakes. And hey, Joanne, you made it back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Are you having battery issues or Wi-Fi issues today?
Yeah, I just don't know. It just my screen blacked out and I couldn't see anything. And
Oh no.
yeah, so here I am. I missed the big number, huh?
You missed the big number, so we punted and just kind of went with giving the answer to everybody so they know. Yeah, Dudes Getting Pancakes, one of the events that you'll find around the Chicago area, and this app that's helping you make friends. Silent book clubs. There's a silent book club. I'm not sure how that works either, but there's one of them out there. PIE is the name of the app, I believe. The app might be named different, but the company that founded the app is called Pi. The Descended story, you'll appreciate this, Joanne. The Descended story, a Washington woman called 911 after 100 raccoons descended onto her lawn in broad daylight.
Yeah, I saw that.
The operator suggested they are definitely planning something, but what? We don't. It was like an invasion of her property by like 100 What causes that?
Yeah.
Maybe some garbage was tipped over. I don't know. I get a couple of them that live in my neighborhood, and they go down into the sewer thing, and I see them every night, every single night, and they hop along like this, and they got that little humpy back looking thing, and they're the cutest things. And I saw a mama with her babies, and they went into the sewer grate. It was quite interesting. So what I do now, instead of throwing food down a disposal or in the garbage, I will throw the food down the, like some pancakes that my grandsons didn't eat or whatever. I will throw the food down the grate, the sewer grate.
Okay.
Gotta feed them.
Well, I guess to wrap up, my most weird encounter with a raccoon was I was showing a house in Loves Park, and a house across the street was vacant, and I don't think it was for sale yet, but it was vacant, and there were raccoons living in its chimney, and one of them I believe was rabid, because it was the weirdest thing. It crawled out of the chimney, crawled down the house, down the front pole thing of the front step, down to the street, crawled into the sewer, went down into the sewer, was down there for a while, and then came back out of the sewer, went back up to the top of the house, went back down the chimney. I watched all this happen, and it was just not caring about anybody looking at it or around it.
If they're in the chimney, would they get into the house, or would they just get into the fireplace?
So if the fireplace is open enough, they could be getting into the house. And that's
all right. One, you need a hobby. You can spend that much time watching a raccoon.
I was waiting for a client to show a house across the street. I'm just watching this phone, and I'm like, this raccoon is like drugs up or rabid.
He probably had parvo.
Oh,
Parvo's very, very popular amongst the raccoon community, from what I understand.
Right term.
It was interesting. It was
tomorrow for pause that I was going to talk about the pig mines that I didn't get to talk about. I got blacked out. I think
And that's
it's
today?
noon to 5. Yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Pig Minds tomorrow for Paws Humane Society. Let me see if I can grab this really quick here. There it is. There it is. Let me throw it up on screen for you, Paws. Halloween. Halloween is at Pig Minds Brewing.
No dogs. No dogs will be there.
No dogs will be there. Okay. Tomorrow at noon.
For some reason, they didn't want to have dogs, which takes all my fun away.
Are you sure? That says doggy costume contest. They must have canceled that part.
Maybe that's other people's dogs.
Well, it's Halloween fundraiser unless you got wolves there.
Dogs. You're not going to be visiting dogs to adopt. You're just going to go bring your current dog for a doggy costume contest tomorrow at noon. Thank you, Pig Minds, for hosting Paws Humane Society's event tomorrow.
Halloween.
All right, good deal. All right, well, I got to run. It's been fun. We had a great lineup of guests today. Thank you to Tiffany and to Xavier. The Tommy Coral Memorial Foundation event at Victory Pickleball on November 9th. The link is in the chat. And also to Jim Hall, Rebops for Parkinsons, Rockford's Parkinsons Awareness Walk this Wednesday. That link to that event, or the link to his Facebook page, is in the chat. I couldn't find the link to the event itself. So one last time, I will put up the flyer. Walk for Parkinsons, Show You Care, Wednesday, October 23rd, Rockford's first ever on Wednesday. Stepping off at 11, and then the lunch thing at noon, all there at Cross Point Church on State Street. Next week, Kelly and Tammy for Nick's Wish. We're going to talk about what's happening December 4th with the In Crowd 815. Our final event of 2025 is December 4th at Cliff Breakers. We'll talk about that with them. Until then, my friends, remember, you change the world when you help one person. So be a blessing to someone this week. We'll try to do the same. Meet you back here for another In Crowd 815 podcast. Joanne, Tom, appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend.
Go Packers.
Go Pack. Go.
Joanne.
In crowd, 815. In crowd, 815. In crowd, 815.